Oh.
Well, hello, Bern Courtney here.
Yes, here we are.
So this is the first time we are going live here on YouTube, so bear with us. I'm not sure what we're doing, but we are going to try.
Yes.
So if you guys could hear me, can you just write, you can hear us? I can see there's a few of us on here already. I'd appreciate it. Maybe somebody. Got we got some thumbs up here, so I guess somebody's on here.
If not, we're just going to talk. We're just going to talk, and you'll just have to listen to whatever we talk about.
Do not want that to happen.
It's going to mainly be about Taco Bell and donuts if you let me talk.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. It's just going to make me hungry.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so if anybody could type in there if you could hear us, that would be super helpful. Maybe you can't hear us, which should be part of the
Which
issue.
might be why they're not responding.
This is very possible. Is there any audio? Let's see. Oh, here we go. What's this audio? Oh, looks like it's
Yeah, I think so. I think it's working. Okay, good.
All right, we're just gonna give another 30 seconds, and then we'll kind of start this off and see how it goes. So we're gonna try to do this every once in a while, maybe once a month or so, see how it goes. If anybody shows up, and no one shows up, maybe we'll do it less.
Yeah.
What do you think? So we just wanted to give this an opportunity for you guys to ask questions about living in San Diego. We're going to kind of go over what's going on in the housing market here in San Diego. If you guys are planning to move here, you have questions about neighborhoods or best donuts, because Courtney could talk about that all day. Whatever you guys want to talk about.
Best burritos.
Yeah, exactly.
Can we first just make mention that we're coming to you live from Bern's fancy.
I have my new studio office right now, so there's a little echo in here, so I'm trying to get rid of that. But we're still decorating it, so keep that in mind. But this is where we're gonna do most of our videos.
It's a little sparse in here. It's a little sparse, but it's really nice.
Exactly. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to write them in the comments there. No one has really commented. I think it's supposed to show up here. I don't really know.
It's all right.
Okay, so
we can answer some questions that have been asked before, and we can just talk about what's going on in the housing market.
Yeah, first I'll give you guys a little update on what's going on in the housing market from our experience here in the last 30, 60 days or so. Sure. So the market here in San Diego is pretty hot. It's actually most properties have multiple offers on it. Yeah. So I've had clients that just put an offer on a house recently, and there was 30 offers on it. Mm-hmm. So it was listed at $1.5 million, and I think it went about $150,000 over asking price. Yeah. So obviously that's not the case for every single house here in San Diego, but it's definitely a hot market.
Yes.
So just keep that in mind when you're trying to buy a house here in San Diego. Especially those super remodeled houses that are like move-in ready with a beautiful yard or beautiful view, just expect to have multiple offers on it. The ones that actually don't go as quickly are the ones that actually need a little work, or they're kind of that in between.
Right.
Like it almost needs remodeled, but not remodeled.
Not quite.
So those ones are.
If you could tackle that, you'd be willing to tackle that, then
exactly.
maybe.
So then those are houses you can kind of target if you're willing to put a little bit of work into it. Michael, love San Diego. Hey, Michael, thanks you can hear us. So that's a good sign. So hopefully
microphone's working.
Microphone's working.
The acoustics are good.
And if you have any questions about San Diego, please feel free to put them in the comment section there below. Okay, just a couple other things going on in the market here. And the reason why that market is so hot here is a couple reasons. Is the interest rates are super low. They've actually gone down again early here in 2020. What year are we now?
2021.
So yeah, they're under 3%. You can get as low as 2.5% for 30-year, maybe 2.75 that range. So that's a big reason why housing market's big. That's been going very, very hot, and the COVID has also prevented people from putting their houses on the market this year. So inventory is down
low.
Very, very low, the inventory. So it's down 45% compared to this time last year before COVID started.
45%?
45% is a huge amount.
Wow.
Yes. So that is the reason why there's not enough homes and there's so many more buyers because of the low interest rates.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that we get more people once this pandemic starts to subside, which hasn't quite gotten there yet.
But we're staying hopeful, fingers crossed.
Hopefully that happens in the near future.
Yeah.
But as of right now, the market is super hot. Inventory is starting to pick up a little bit. I just even noticed that this week there's been a few more houses than normal. So hopefully in the near, once spring comes around, when more people are vaccinated or COVID starts to become more under control, then people will feel more comfortable putting their houses on the market.
Yes.
So we'll see how that goes. Just to give you a couple stats, not to bore you with too many stats, but the single family median price in 2019 was $646,000, and in 2020 it's $710,000. So it's gone up a little over $50,000, almost $60,000.
Yeah.
So it's gone up quite a bit. For condos and townhomes, the average median price was $425,000 in 2019, and in 2020 it's $460,000. So if you're on a little bit more of a budget, you might want to target condos or townhomes. So hopefully that's a good option for you.
There's a lot of nice condos and townhomes around here too, actually.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you get that benefit of community pool, community.
They have a lot more amenities.
You have the
usually.
amenities.
Yes,
That's the word.
Parks
Yeah.
and pools and fitness centers sometimes.
That's right.
So.
And less maintenance. If you don't want that yard to maintain, if you don't want grass to water, and you just want the condo, the townhome that doesn't have, or just maybe has the concrete patio or something, that's a good option.
Yeah, for sure. And then we have a couple other questions here from our previous videos that I just want to kind of go over real quick and see if we can answer a few of these. And if you guys have any questions, please put them in the comments below, and we are happy to answer them for you. We'll see it. We'll go as long as you have a question. Oh, do we have a question here? Okay, from Pascal. Hi guys, how high are the living costs in San Diego, including the rent, studio or one bedroom and one bathroom, bills, car, etc.? So.
Also, thank you. Microphone audio sounds distorted, like it's overloaded.
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me fix that.
Telling us we've just sounded like robots this whole time? Really garbled robots for the past 5 minutes?
Okay, does that sound any better? Hopefully that was a little bit better. I'm not quite sure how to use this. Okay.
Hi
Hey Hazel, what's up?
Hi Bruno.
How's it going? Bruno D'Souza? Are there any areas with lower property? Okay, well, we'll do one question at a time here, and then we'll kind of go through it. So Pascal asks, how high are the living costs in San Diego, the rent, studio, or one bedroom, one bathroom? So we did a cost of living video here a little while ago. Maybe we should update that one.
We should probably update that one. That one gets a lot of views,
Yes.
but I think we did that a year ago. So
Yeah,
it's probably time for a new one.
Things have changed. So a one bedroom condo or apartment here in San Diego will probably start, it really depends on the area, but a good starting point would probably be around $1,500.
Yeah.
It also can go up a lot higher than that.
Sure. There's so many factors, right?
That's right.
Location, view, amenities, all of that stuff can obviously change the cost.
But I think a good basis point is probably about $1,500 for a one bedroom, two bedroom, maybe around $1,800 to $2,000 range, something like that. It's probably a good. But San Diego's big. It's like 3 million people here in San Diego County. So a lot of different neighborhoods. You can go less than $1,500. You can go higher than that as well too. So as far as bills, I think we'll probably have to make a video about this because it's a lot of information to take on. Car insurance is probably around $100 a month, probably for car insurance.
Gas is about.
Gas is like
$3.18, $3.15.
Yeah, right now. But again, I think we'll probably easier to do a little video about this one because it's kind of a lot of
We'll
information.
update it. We'll give you guys some updated numbers here because those are important questions, obviously.
Sounds good. So hopefully that was a little helpful, Pascal.
Yeah.
Hopefully our audio sounds a little better. Thanks, Athana. Hope it sounds better. Hi guys, big fan of your channel. How is the house flipping market there? Thanks. The house flipping market is good if you can find a place, but the problem is it's hard to find a good value on the houses right now because the market is so hot. So is it impossible to find a house you can flip? Not impossible, but it's difficult. So I think until the inventory picks up, that'll be a much better chance to start flipping homes. But in this market, I would find it pretty tough to flip homes.
Yeah.
So just my 2 cents.
I agree.
Hazel says, hey. Okay, are there any...
Tamika's moving to San Diego next month.
Oh,
congratulations.
Nice. Tamika, where are you moving from? Let us know.
That's exciting.
Are there areas with lower property taxes? So pretty much the property tax in San Diego is pretty much all the same. It's around 1%, but some areas have an extra property tax called Melrose. If it's a newer community built in the last like 20 years, 20, 30 years, it has a higher property tax with Melrose.
Yeah.
So, but if it's older than 30 years, say, it's around 1.1% or so for property tax. So overall, pretty much the same.
That Melrose goes to, we've talked about that in some videos before too, that goes to infrastructure, schools, Is that fire? Is that like your public services
Right.
to
Streets, stoplights.
streets?
Infrastructure.
Infrastructure. I said infrastructure.
Oh, you said that?
I
Okay,
did. I said it first. It's
Jeez.
first on my list. All the infrastructure. I
wasn't
love
listening
that.
to you.
Yes.
But yeah, overall the property tax is around 1%, a little over 1%. Ricardo, I think I just talked or at least chatted with you a little bit on our comments earlier. Yes, mics are better. Thanks, Bruno. Appreciate it. My wife and I have been thinking about moving to San Diego from Long Island, New York. Okay, East Coasters. We love East Coasters out here. We're both from the East Coast.
Getting all the East Coasters.
Yeah. But the income taxes are nuts in California. Yes, the income taxes are high here. I work in real estate, so I have a lot of write-offs, which helps with the income taxes. But yeah, it depends on what industry you're in. But the property taxes are actually a bit lower. I think I mentioned that in a comment to you earlier. Hopefully that is can offset it a little bit. But I don't know what the income tax or the property tax is in Long Island, but I think they're pretty high.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought so. Tika's moving from Arkansas.
Very cool.
Woo.
Very cool.
And Pascal wants to know which district is your favorite in San Diego. District?
Are you talking about school
like
district or
neighborhoods or?
It's probably neighborhood. Well, we live in North County, San Diego. So, so I mentioned the county is quite big, 3 million
Huge,
people.
huge.
And we're in North County, kind of where all the North County beaches are, like Del Mar, Solana Beach, Encinitas,
Torrey Pines.
So we're just east of there, kind of off the 56 freeway. So that's my favorite area, just because we live here. But obviously the downtown's beautiful.
I've talked about some other places that I like a lot. I really like Del Cerro, which is an area sort of near San Diego State University, closer to downtown, close to Balboa Park. It's just a really cool neighborhood, lots of neat architecture. It's got some like mid-century modern stuff, which I like a lot, and it's hilly. It's like kind of what I think of when I really think of like classic Southern California.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of it's not a ton of tract homes. It's there's a lot of character in all the homes, and it's got cute restaurants. There's a lake there. That's a neat place.
Yeah, I like La Mesa over in East County there.
Yeah.
North Park, South Park, one of my favorite spots. A lot of good places, and there's a neighborhood for everybody, so it kind of just depends on what kind of what
So if
vibe
that's
you're
what you
looking
mean, if that's what you mean by district,
Yeah.
if you mean neighborhood,
for. And if you mean
those are
something else,
like,
then you can let us know in the comments.
what's your favorite beach?
My favorite beach?
Your favorite beach neighborhood?
I like Solana Beach is my favorite.
You do? Why is that?
Well, because I like it's a walkable beach. I mean, they're kind of walkable.
Encinitas is really walkable, too.
I don't know, I like the strip there. They got a lot of restaurants and
What about
coffee
something
shops and pizza
a
places.
little further south? Anything
Further
down?
south.
Mission Beach.
I like Mission Beach. I think
Pacific Beach
If you're ever going on vacation, Mission Beach is a great place.
is a great place. You're right. There's a lot of activities.
Or you're looking for an investment
hotels.
property, Mission Beach is a good place to buy.
Pacific Beach too.
Because you can Airbnb those out very
Yeah.
easily. And it's got like a little boardwalk strip there. And they got the Belmont Park and stuff like that. So
I
it's
like
a good place.
Coronado as well.
Oh, I love Coronado.
Coronado's
yeah.
really cool. That's like its own little place. It's not even, you go there and you feel like you're a little bit, almost like outside of the United States. Like you could be on some island somewhere. Coronado's not technically an island. I just want to point that out.
It's a peninsula.
It is a peninsula, even though it's called Coronado Island.
Yeah, they got a great hotel there, Hotel Del, which I've actually
Right.
I've been to and just never stayed at. Before.
I've never stayed there either.
I want to one day.
Because I watched our ghost video and now I'm too scared to
it
stay
is haunted,
there.
so
It is
beware.
haunted.
Beware.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
What else we got here? Would love to get your take on
On
homelessness in
homelessness.
San Diego. Yes.
I mean, it obviously is an issue here. Southern California as a whole, LA County, Orange County, we do have issues with homelessness. I mean, the weather is conducive for a large homeless population. I mean, people can live outside all year round.
Unfortunately.
So obviously it is an issue here, but I don't see it as much in the suburbs. It does seem to affect the downtown area,
metro areas.
the metro area a bit more. I also think that San Diego has some really great outreach programs that work exclusively with the homeless population here. So I think that people are attempting to help that homeless
I think they've done a better job in San Diego than they have like in Los Angeles
yes,
and
or San Francisco.
So
I agree.
That's obviously not perfect by any means,
Right.
but I think they're they're trying.
Yeah.
So it is an issue, and hopefully it gets better over time. But if you're downtown, you'll see a good amount.
Yeah, which I think a lot of major metropolitan areas do have a homeless population that is visible, and I think San Diego, it just happens to be really, really pleasant weather that people can just kind of maintain that homeless.
Yeah, for sure.
Encampment.
So hopefully that somewhat answers your question, Ricardo.
Yeah.
Hey Shay Neal. Let's see. Hello, I'm looking
from Tennessee.
I was wondering about the
job market for nurses. Yes.
Actually, we just had one of our Adria who just moved here. She just moved from Detroit.
I would love some good nurses. I think there's a lot of
a lot of hospitals.
A lot of just a huge medical community. I feel like.
I think that there was actually a decent amount of need, especially these days. I mean, for nurses in San Diego, there's lots of hospitals. Lots of we got Scripps, and what's the other big one? Scripps, and then there's
what do you mean, just
the children's hospitals?
Rades.
Rades
Children's Hospital. Yeah, big Kaiser Permanente out here.
There's a lot of medical here,
and there's even medical research. A lot of medical research facilities that are. I don't know if nurses are hanging out with this, but I feel like there have to be, right? Yeah.
My mom was a nurse for 40 years, so we love nurses.
Yeah. Possible to get a smaller home. Thriving Littles is asking if it's possible to get a smaller home in the $400,000 to $500,000 range, and best spots if so.
For a single family house, you can. It probably wouldn't be in North County. You have to probably go to some other areas. Like
Escondido, you might find some. East County.
You can definitely do townhomes or condos. Single families around 400 to 500 could be a little tougher.
Yeah.
But not impossible. You just have to be a little bit more flexible in your location. Still very good, safe neighborhoods, but it'll probably be a little tougher for 400 to 500. If you get 500 to 600, you'll have more options. But 400 to 500,
there's a big difference. I think
to be in a really good neighborhood with, especially if you're looking for a school district, you're probably going to be above 500, probably. Unless you do a townhome or condo.
Yeah.
So,
hi from Washington, D.C. Oh, hey, I used to live in Rockville, Maryland. Yeah, how's the housing market in Coronado? Is there any new construction there? Thanks, from Jason. Coronado's a tough one. And I think they're pretty selective about what they do.
They have a certain style to their homes there.
Yes, and I think a lot of the stuff is pretty well established.
Yeah.
I don't know that anything new unless you bought something and tore it down.
But otherwise, as far as like new communities, not a ton.
There's a limited amount of space. There's a finite amount of space there, so they don't really have a ton of room to expand. So pretty much what is there is what you get. And if you did want to build something from scratch, you'd probably have to buy a home, raise it, and
that is true.
Start from
I don't think not a lot of condos or townhomes style there. It's mostly single families.
Yes, I would say so. And all very different and all super cute, and I wish I could live in all of them, and they're all really cool.
I love going down. It just feels like a different, like you said, it doesn't feel like you're in San Diego.
And all the homes are so different. Little cute bungalows and some larger, modern stuff. There are some high-rise apartment condo buildings there that are pretty cool.
In Coronado?
In Coronado, that have like great views, and obviously there's like a large, there's military presence there as well, and that would be a cool place to live, but
I know, for now that's a place we go visit.
You go visit.
Maybe one day I'll have a place
Yeah.
Okay, what else we got here?
Sorry, asking, is it cheaper to live in San Diego County versus Orange County? My wife and I are looking to move from Iowa. Okay, Iowa.
Nice. I would probably say it's fairly similar pricing.
Yes, I would think so too.
If you're closer to the beach, the prices are going to be pretty similar in San Diego versus Orange County. I would say it's pretty. I don't know the median home pricing in Orange County, but it's probably pretty close to San Diego's.
I would say they're pretty similar too.
Yeah. I could probably look it up real fast. Oh, jeez.
Oh no. Who knows if you're still there? Uh-oh. Oh no, Bern.
Come on.
Oh man. Party foul.
Oh, sorry, lost you for a second. I think we're back.
Okay.
My camera just shut off for some reason.
And I'm seeing, okay. You back there?
Are we good? Everyone can still hear us?
Is Chula Vista a good place to raise a family? I would say yes. Lots of families in Chula Vista. housing would be a little less expensive than...
It's actually a lot more expensive than Chula Vista. You can get like new construction down there for around 600,000 for a single family home. And I think there's like Chula Vista, Otay Ranch are good spots for new construction that are by San Diego standards relatively affordable.
Yes. So housing is, you know what, my big concern would be looking into the school district. If you have kids, you're raising a family and you want the best schools, obviously you'd want to look in, make sure you get you're moving someplace where the schools get a high mark.
Yeah, and there are some good school districts down there. You just have to find.
Did you do your research?
Parts of it are good, parts of it not so good.
Sure. So you want to be looking for a home that offers the best school for your kid if you're public school students.
Yes. But a lot of good school districts here in San Diego too. So we talk about schools a lot. So I'm not going to try to.
I do. I know.
Right now.
I think schools are pretty great. Oh, you mentioned bugs, but not sure if you mentioned. Oh no, I'm sorry.
Okay. Tamika, sorry, almost missed that there. What are your thoughts on housing La Mesa? I would really like La Mesa. I actually have a 2-bedroom condo coming up in La Mesa very soon.
Okay.
So if you want any more information on that, that's going to be around $375-ish for a 2-bedroom condo. So if you have questions, feel free to reach out.
And La Mesa has some newer construction as well.
They do.
Obviously, East County has a little bit more space to spread out. There's still some areas that are not constructed yet, so they're constructed. Is that right? They're not developed. They're not totally developed yet. Yeah, not constructed. They haven't been built out of Legos yet or something.
But yeah, and I love La Mesa. It's got a little downtown area. It's got some good restaurants. Once things go back to normal, it'll be more fun to be down there.
Get out and about.
They also have a little train that goes through there too. They can get to right through the downtown. But yeah, it's a fun place to be, and
it's a good option.
She asked me for your thoughts, but I think it's a good place. It's more affordable than some of the other areas in San Diego as well too. So.
And obviously further west it gets more expensive, so that's a good option. Wait, this is a question about bugs from Ricardo. You mentioned bugs, but I'm not sure if you mentioned mosquitoes specifically. Are there mosquitoes? There are occasionally, but not too bad because it is so dry. And as you know, mosquitoes need water to lay their eggs. So we don't have, I believe that's how it works. Yeah. Coming from the East Coast, as my mom would always tell me, I don't know.
There aren't a lot of mosquitoes.
There aren't a lot of mosquitoes. We don't have a lot of standing water. It is pretty dry. It is pretty arid. It's coastal desert. So they just don't thrive here very well. If you go maybe up towards the mountains where you get a little bit more precipitation or, you might get more mosquitoes, but no, it's not a real
get that,
issue.
like the hot summer. Well, you get hot summer nights here, but it doesn't get the humid hot summer nights like the East Coast or
not a lot of humidity, not a lot of moisture.
Yeah.
Sure, so it's just not conducive for mosquitoes.
Yep.
Good riddance.
That is correct.
If everybody else keep them all, like them all.
Hopefully
I don't need them here.
Ricardo could hear you but not see you. Sorry, we lost my camera shut off for some reason, but we're back. Moving to San Diego 2 weeks.
Curtis,
awesome.
way to go.
Awesome. Looking for a house rat. Curtis, what part of town are you looking for? Let us know in the comments. Ricardo's moving. Sold moving.
Sold moving. I know, right? It's as easy as that. Ben wants to know, are people in San Diego taking COVID guidelines seriously? I was down there in May and it felt loose. You know what, Ben? I'm going to say, I think it goes neighborhood to neighborhood, area to area. I would say, and we just had a nice couple here looking for a home the other day, and they were saying that they had been to one of the beach communities and that they were shocked that people were not wearing masks or just didn't seem to be taking it quite as seriously. So I will say that there are some areas that perhaps the people are a little more loosey-goosey, but then you come to where we live, and I think people are taking it really seriously.
You can't really walk down the street without everyone's wearing masks.
People are out in the canyon, far from everyone, no one around,
for miles,
and they are wearing their masks.
Still wearing masks.
Yes.
So
I've been pretty impressed with how seriously people have taken it in the area that we're in. Now, have you been downtown more recently?
I haven't really, just because I've showed a few condos down there, but everyone was wearing masks when I saw it. So,
okay, so yes, you may. Some of the, I'm not sure where you went when you were here, Ben, but I will say some of the communities. There were some communities that felt a little more lax.
You will see at the beaches. A lot of people might wear it once they get to the spot in the sand and then take it off.
Yeah.
I mean. to each their own. But everyone tries to be safe as they can.
Right.
But,
And if that is a concern for you, I would say there are still areas where people are taking it pretty seriously.
Yeah, for sure.
So
hopefully that's helpful.
Hopefully that's helpful. Yeah.
Okay. Mike says I'm planning to relocate to San Diego. How long would it be my commute by car from downtown San Diego to Rancho Bernardo usually take?
Brad loves to talk about commutes and traffic and drive
because
time.
I hate traffic, so I like to know exactly how long it's going to take me to get to one place to another.
Yes. So from RB.
Wait, from which way? From
Rancho
downtown
Bernardo
to
from downtown San Diego to RB.
I guess if you work at right now, traffic's not bad at all because of COVID. No one's really going in the offices. But in a normal time from downtown to Rancho Bernardo would probably take you around 35 minutes.
I would say 35.
With traffic, it could be 45.
You take the 15 or the 163.
Yeah, because from our house, we're not far from Rancho Bernardo. We're like we're about 25 minutes to downtown. Give or take.
Yeah.
With traffic, it's probably 35.
Yeah, I would say 35.
So 35 minutes probably from Rancho Bernardo to downtown.
Yes.
Okay, what else we got?
Do you think house prices will continue to rise significantly or maybe level off after the pandemic?
I think prices are going to stay, I think that we're going to rise. Well, someone was predicting like another 8-9% increase in prices. I'm actually hoping that does not happen because I have a lot of buyers looking, we have a lot of buyers looking for homes.
Sure.
And there's a lot of multiple offer situations. So I think once the pandemic subsides, more people will put their homes on the market, so there'll be more inventory. Once more inventory comes up, and hopefully, if not, I know everyone wants low interest rate, but if interest rate inches up a little bit, then that will definitely level off prices. So I'm actually hoping for that because I don't need the prices. I mean, people don't need the prices to go up another 10% right off the bat here because eventually they keep going up, then they will dip a little quicker. But right now, I expect the market to be probably around a 5% increase in prices this year. I don't think it's going to be the 8 to 10% prices that people think, just because eventually prices are just going to hit a point that people can't afford them. So that's just my thoughts on it, and hopefully, I don't want prices to go down because a lot of people have bought houses this year, but another 10%, I think it would be unsustainable in my opinion. So we'll see what happens, but I'll keep you guys updated on that as well. Hopefully that helps, Caesar. Are salaries in the tech industry moving at the same rate as the housing market? There's a lot of tech industries moving down here. I've actually had a lot of people can work from home now. So we've had people move from Facebook and Twitch and Google and Apple. So Apple has actually opened offices down here. Amazon has opened offices down here. So I know the tech jobs have increased down here. So I think it has increased wages?
That's a good question, Kevin. We could get some actual.
Yeah, because I don't know.
I don't have exact numbers, but that's a good question.
But I'll try to find out and see if they're like increasing salaries down here because of that or not. But the housing prices are a lot cheaper here than they are in like San Francisco, which is why a lot of people are moving here. Because when they see the prices here, granted they're not cheap, but it actually looks a lot more affordable to them compared to LA's and the San Francisco's of the world too. So.
Yeah.
A lot of questions. Okay, let's see. Where are we?
Okay. So we will look into that.
Yeah, I'll try
look into that to
get
some more exact numbers.
Ricardo, question from my wife. What do you think of the possible tax increase from 13 to 16%? Obviously, I prefer taxes to be lower. And this is for income tax. Is that what we're talking about? How's the?
Yeah, possible tax increase. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So that's a different one. Well, let me know which tax you're referring to. Is that the income tax one we're talking about? As far how is the air quality? He's also asking
about the air quality over the past year with the fires. Is it a concern? I mean, I check that little air quality meter. I have kids with asthma, so I check the stuff. I think most of the time our air quality is pretty good. Obviously, when you have those fires, you get a week or two of of poor air quality, but also depending on how close to the coast you live, the air is moving a lot more. If you live in a place where I feel like it moves through relatively quickly.
And we haven't really had that, but we've had a couple fires.
There's been some fires somewhat close, but a little further up past North County, just outside of San Diego County. So
San Francisco actually got hit by fires a lot more worse than.
And the Napa Valley area, has been
And I've never had a problem, I mean, maybe your kids have had more issues.
We haven't, so far, we haven't. So I wouldn't say that the air quality has been a huge issue. I wonder, if you're meaning just from the fire standpoint, I don't think it's been.
Yeah, it goes pretty quickly. I know San Francisco's was pretty bad for a while, but we didn't have that issue as much.
Yeah.
Correct, income tax, he said. I always prefer income taxes to be lower, but it kind of just depends on your tax bracket too. So I don't think it's going to affect home prices too much, if that was what your question was. But I don't like paying taxes, but unfortunately I have to. So hopefully, if you have a specific question I could answer about that, let me know. I don't want to pay. Do you want to pay more taxes? I don't.
I don't want to pay more.
Hopefully that was somewhat helpful, Ricardo.
Yeah.
I live in Nestor, San Diego. I refinanced my house 8 months ago from 4.3 to ooh, nice. Would you recommend to refinance again? I plan on moving maybe in 5 years or so. I would, if you can get your interest rate. People usually say around 0.5% more than you are right now. So 3.125, you'd have to be at 2.625, which I don't think you could refinance. I mean, maybe you could. It kind of depends on how much you owe on it. Because if you're jumbo or conforming loan. But if you can get it, 0.5%, 0.4% less than it is now, if it's only going to be 0.25%, I don't think it's worth it. Because you do it, even if they say there's no cost, they roll it into your loan. And you're going to move in 5 years. I would say just see how much you can get it lower. If it's only like 3%, don't do it. Mm-hmm. If it's 2.75, I would say that's pretty close. I might be willing to do that, especially if you're going to be there another 5 years. So, any advice on working with contractors post home purchase? Thinking of minor upgrades, e.g., place carpet with wood floors. Example, in my current city, many contractors have a long backlog.
Aaron,
yes, I actually have a bunch of guys that can help you with. I have one contractor that actually. So this office we're in right now was actually my third car garage.
Just knock this
and
out.
He just turned it into an office/studio for me. And he did this in like 2 weeks. So, and he's very reliable and shows up on time. He has great subcontractors. Yeah. So if you ever need a referral for somebody, just let me know.
But I also, as you're saying, a long backlog. I mean, during COVID, it seems like everybody's doing
much busier.
Home repairs and the little, I want to redo the kitchen, I want to add the pool. It seems like people are really putting a rush on the contractors right now.
But I also have a great handyman that does.
Bern's got a guy.
He's got a guy for everything. So if you need it,
he knows something.
And he can usually do it within 2 weeks. So. It depends how big the project is too. If it's a huge project or small project, we can get it done. But I usually have a guy for everything.
Yeah, so carpet with wood floors. Yeah,
wood floors, painting. You can paint cabinets, new countertops. Great countertop guy.
Loves his countertop.
He's great. Sergio is the best.
Sergio.
Okay.
Is San Diego County diverse? I would say yes.
Yes, it is.
For sure. I think there's Hispanic culture, there's Asian culture, there's obviously there's African American, Caucasian. I think there's sure
a whole. Yeah. I mean, you name it, we pretty much have it.
Yeah.
So yes, I would say it is diverse.
Pacific Islanders. I would say it's pretty diverse.
Pasty white Irish people like myself.
For you. I'm Irish too, and I'm not.
That's right.
I'm not as pasty.
Okay, correct. What's the average income needed to live comfortably in San Diego? We get this question a lot. It depends. So a single person living in San Diego, with rent, say you have a 1-bedroom, 1,500 square foot apartment, condo, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I would say you probably want to make around. I'm just throwing this out, $65,000
I was going to say that too. I was going to say 60.
Yeah. Okay.
I was going to say 60.
Can you live off of less? Yes. When I moved to Los Angeles many years ago,
you're wrong.
I know. I like to tell the story because people like to hear it. Okay. I lived 2005. Moved to Los Angeles. I lived off about $25,000 a year. Mm-hmm. Granted, I had roommates. I lived in a 3-bedroom apartment with 2 other roommates. We all had our own room. But I paid like $600 a month. Rent's probably gone up since I'm old now. But and that place now will probably be $1,200.
Yeah.
So basically double. It's $50,000 minimum probably to live semi-comfortably. And
it depends on where you're living too. I mean, you're a little further inland. You could probably lower your cost of living a bit. But
like I said, it's very big here. There's expensive places and there's less expensive places. Sure. So you just got to find right spot for you. So hopefully That was helpful. Is there any place you wouldn't live in San Diego County?
You know what? I wouldn't say like one place in specific, one place in particular. I would just say, like I said before, just how important the school system is to me. So
Yes.
I'm always looking at
Any area that
who
doesn't
has,
have good schools.
yeah, the areas where the school ratings seem to drop a little bit, I might, I don't know, I might think about, just because I think the public education
Yeah,
is so
and I'm not saying
important.
it's a bad place to live. But
No. And if you don't give a hoot
Yeah,
about
if
the
you don't
public
have
schools
kids,
there,
or you
then
go to a private school,
then obviously
then-
it could be a great place for you to live.
Yeah.
It just for me, that's what I would
Yeah,
say.
school ratings in certain areas, like, I don't like to put neighborhoods down, but
No, don't.
Vista doesn't have great school districts. Escondido, parts of Escondido have pretty good schools,
Yeah,
parts of it
pockets.
don't. So you have
you've
to
gotta
like
just
see which
look
one it
and
is.
see.
So-
Yeah, if you're looking at a home in that specific area, you need to
But
just
other
check.
than those two neighborhoods, they almost all have good schools. So that's just my 2 cents.
And I'm
on
sure
that.
there's good schools in Vista too.
Yeah, there are. There's just, there's pockets of it that are
Yeah.
good, pockets of it are not,
Yeah.
not so good. So. Let's see, Sean. Hi, Sean. Hey guys, thanks for all the information you provide. I have looked into potentially moving to San Diego area in the future. I see that they are ranked poorly in air quality, 5 to 6 worst in the U.S. I know, I've heard about this. Honestly, I've never had an issue with air quality.
I was kind of surprised. I really don't. I think Los Angeles is rated #1 as well. It should be, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe that's what I saw. I don't think it's like anywhere near Los Angeles's
Smog yeah.
layer that sits atop
Sometimes
the
there's like
city.
a little layer that gets stuck in the mountains. Sometimes
Yeah,
you get
or
stuck
the
in there.
marine layer. The
Yeah,
marine layer, which
holds it
I
in
guess would
sometimes.
affect. You know what? I would have to look into that and see if the marine layer counts as like the air quality, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's the smog. The marine layer is like this coastal fog that comes in and sits right
Yeah.
onto. It's like a layer of moisture that just comes in and sits right on the coast and looks kind of foreboding, but I don't know that that's the same as like
Yeah.
smog.
I've never had any issues with
Air
it, so it's
pollution.
never really
No.
bothered me. The only thing I'm not sure this had anything to do with air quality, but I used to wear contacts all the time, and about 8 years ago, my eyes get too dry, maybe because it's just dry weather, but that's not really
It
air
is dry.
quality.
It's really dry here.
So if
It's
you're
really,
a big
really
contact
dry.
wearer, I don't know, you wear contacts, right?
I do.
But I can't wear contacts anymore for more than like 2 hours because my eyes get so dry.
Sounds like a
So
personal
that's
Sounds like your own issue.
Yeah, whatever. Just pointing it out
Sorry.
in case people wear
I know.
contacts.
Do we notice it in daily life or only on certain days? Oh, that's also a good question. Okay, Sean, I would say when we get those Santa Ana winds, then I do feel it a little bit more. When you get those Santa Ana winds that
You feel the dry air.
you feel the dry air, but it also kicks a lot of stuff up.
Yeah,
It seems
dust
to,
and-
that's when I notice, like I said, I'm checking that little meter about the air quality, and that's when you notice the air quality is not as great. So I would say most days I don't really notice an issue. But yeah, when you get some of those weather changes and the winds move in and it seems to kick a bunch of stuff up and can cause issues for people that already have breathing issues or are sensitive to allergens in the air, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's mixed in there with a little bit of pollution too.
But overall, besides the Santa Ana winds,
Yeah.
I never really have too much issues.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I like to read that report.
Yeah.
Where are we on
Well, maybe we'll do a video on
number
air quality
5 or-
and
yeah,
San Diego
yeah.
if you guys seem to be interested in that. So.
Yes.
How hard did we miss that one? Let's
Find
see.
a job.
Oh, yeah.
Minimal
Pascal's
citizens,
back again?
American citizen.
Oops, I lost it.
Greetings from Switzerland.
Oh, very cool.
Wow.
Bern, Switzerland, my favorite place. That's my name. Very cool. How is it an American citizen? I honestly don't know how hard it is
Yeah.
for a non-citizen to get jobs here.
I don't either.
I think you can get temporary visas fairly easy, but if you want to stay for a long period of time, I think you have to have a company sponsor you a lot of times.
Yeah.
But I can look into that because I've actually had that question before.
Yeah, let us
I
know
don't-
if there's more people that have interest in that, because as we've done videos of like people moving from one coast to the other, that
Yeah.
might be interesting to do.
We should do a video on
some
moving
research
from
on
abroad.
moving from abroad.
we should do a video.
Exactly.
That's a good one. 'Cause we
Yeah.
have a lot of out of country people here.
Yeah, so that's a good question. Thank you for asking. We'll have to look into that.
Shay says, yes, definitely looking into the school districts as well. I appreciate all the information given. You're welcome,
Oh,
Shay.
good.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Oh no! Why does it keep happening?
I think it must be like go to sleep or something.
It is a sleep mode. Oh no! Just does it. Keeps going.
Okay. Sorry guys, every 20 minutes my camera seems to shut off. Change that. Can you guys hear us now? Can you still hear us? We're back. Hopefully you can hear us again.
Okay.
Okay. Hopefully you can hear us again. What models do you recommend to increase my home value? I live in a hometown 3-bed, 2-bath. I think the most important remodel things that people look at are kitchens and bathrooms and flooring.
Yeah.
So people really like the hardwood look. So that's usually one of the do the luxury vinyl planks if you're trying to save some money, because they look just like hardwoods. And you'll see that actually even like new construction, people use they call LVP, luxury vinyl planks. They're more affordable than hardwood and they look really good. Kitchens are probably the most important. So even if you don't want to replace the cabinets, you can paint them like white and gray looks pretty popular still. So probably should be for the next few years, I imagine, until things change. Neutral colors.
Neutrals are coming back in, Bern. I just read that.
Have they already been in?
Well, they have been in, but even more so than the gray and white, which is like so many of them.
So I would say I'd focus on kitchens and flooring. Honestly, they're two most important things. The master bath is important, but not as important as the first thing you see when you walk into a house, basically. And you spend the most time in the kitchen / living room. So I would try to focus on that the most, in my opinion.
Yes, I would. I would totally second that.
Where would you advise a single senior person to live for a decent price point and condo or small ranch, like a neighborhood, and also how to search around online? So
we were just talking about this before we started the video here, because we were wondering, and I think, are you looking a senior person like 55 and up community, or this person's still living by themselves? They don't need any assisted living or anything like that. There's some nice 55 and up communities in Rancho Bernardo, which is a little bit inland.
Inland North County. They have a lot. They have a bunch in the little pocket of Rancho Bernardo. You can also, if you're searching online, sometimes they'll have a lot of these search engines will have a 55 plus community. And Carlsbad has a bunch of them. Like Carlsbad and Oceanside has a little 55 plus community. They're actually building one in Rancho Mosquitoes, really close to us. That's going to be 55 plus, but I think the price point is going to be a little higher, probably around 700,000 or so. But if you're looking for you can also find little 2-bedroom condos pretty much throughout San Diego. If you want to send me a little message, I can help you kind of find it easier on a search. So I'm going to text my email on the bottom here, so you guys can email me here.
Some of those like senior living communities also have some amenities included, and some utilities.
Rancho Bernardo ones have like tennis courts and pools and rec centers. Where people play like gin rummy and all that.
Pickleball and bridge.
Yeah, so it's a pretty cool place.
Pickleball and bridge. Sounds like my speed, actually.
Okay, to me you can hear us good since we were talking a lot, so I'm glad you can hear us. Did we miss that question? No, we did that one. Okay, sorry for all the questions, but
that's okay,
please
no problem.
Answer away. Well, maybe
thanks for subscribing. We should click like and subscribe.
Yes, and please, if you guys haven't already subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel. We're just trying to give out as much information as we can to you guys, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. And if you ever want to see other videos of certain things, we're getting some pretty good ideas from your questions here. But there's specific neighborhoods you guys want to see. We're trying to do every neighborhood in San Diego, but COVID kind of set us back a little bit just because it's not easy to do videos out in public with masks on all the time. So we will try to do more here in 2021. So hopefully this has been helpful for you guys.
Yes.
We'll stay on a couple more minutes here if you guys have any more questions, and otherwise we'll try to do this once a month. I'm glad people showed up because I thought no one was going to. So
that's okay, because then I was just going to talk. I was just going to talk and talk and talk.
And as you know, Courtney talks a lot. So. Got another question. Do we do Rudy?
Oh, Rudy.
It's nice to see you again. Oh, what's up, Rudy?
Oh, thanks, Austria.
How you doing?
Cool, wow.
Well, you should come to San Diego. Come to San Diego.
We have a friend whose brother just moved to Austria with his family. I think they're quite enjoying it.
Very cool.
Absolutely.
Okay, Carlos back again. Crazy thing. I've never been to San Diego, but want to. Crazy. It checks everyone off the best places to live box. I don't know if you guys ever go through the comments on our YouTube channel, but there's a lot of people that love San Diego and a lot of people that I think just don't like California in general.
Yeah,
so
sure.
I think it's a wonderful place to live. We obviously both enjoy living here. It's a great place to raise our families, our kids, lots of things to do for families. And there's a lot of places you can go to. You go to Los Angeles, you go surfing in the morning, skiing in the evening.
Quality of life is
it's pretty good.
Pretty good.
I mean, you pay for it. It's not cheap, as everyone knows, but we love it here. So
yeah, I would highly recommend.
Yeah,
highly.
Okay.
5 out of 5 stars. Highly recommend.
Would you recommend renting and getting to know neighborhoods before getting a home? Actually, I think. I mean, if you've never been here, I probably would say that.
Yeah. If you've never been here,
if you've been here, I think, and you kind of know what area you're going to be.
If you've been here on vacation or just as a tourist and gotten to scoot around town a little bit.
Because even when we moved here, I rented for 6 months. So, because I wanted to make sure I wanted to stay here, which we did, knew that pretty quickly. But even if you just want to do an Airbnb for, like they do these monthly,
3 months,
6 months Airbnb, I think that's a great way to explore.
Yeah.
And maybe you don't move all your stuff at one time, but I think that's a really good way to start to get to know San Diego. And we'll give you a tour when you guys come. So that'll be even better.
Watch all the videos. If you haven't been here, just watch all the videos,
Exactly.
and we'll try to get out more and cast a wider net and do some more videos that you guys get to see some of the other neighborhoods that you've asked about today.
Like I want to do more.
Mesa.
Yeah, neighborhood tours.
Yeah. Sure, Tamika. You're welcome for all the info.
You're welcome, Tamika. We like you.
From the rest of the country, but compensated. That compensates for her. Okay.
That's what happens. But can you talk about closing costs using as an example? Yeah. So I mean, it kind of depends on how much money you're putting down sometimes too. So if you're 20% down, there's less fees sometimes. So, but if your closing costs for an $850,000 property will probably be around, just ballpark, like $8,000 probably, give or take. We should do a video just on like closing costs in San Diego because people coming from different, a lot of great ideas for videos.
I know, thanks guys.
But I would say around $8,000 is probably a closing cost because you have escrow fees, you have title fees, you have just like city transfer fees and all these other different things. But it usually ends up being around for around $8,000, give or take. But I'll probably put a little video together about that so you can kind of see a little bit more about that.
Just riveting.
Cody's asking about the air quality and where some good locations to live. So we talked a little bit about the air quality earlier, but I know we might not have the best air quality in the country, but it hasn't really bothered us too much.
No.
When you have the marine layer, we talked about a little bit of this earlier. Sometimes, or when the Santa Ana is coming through here, Santa Ana winds. Sometimes it can bother your allergies or just, your eyes a little bit. But other than that, I don't really have too much trouble with it.
And it's probably also different living downtown as opposed to living in a coastal area or more inland. I think like we said, San Diego County is so spread out. So you could have it's more pollution if you're living downtown as opposed to if you're living in Poway or Escondido or La Mesa or where we are.
Just making sure it doesn't go off again.
Lose everybody.
And what are the good locations to live? There's tons of good places to live.
Yeah.
It kind of depends on what you're looking for. Do you want something more metro feeling, more city feel to it, walkable? Are we? Hold on. There we go. Fix it. Okay, great. Yes, kind of depends. Do you want to be closer to the beach? Do you want to be more inland? Do you want to, it depends. My favorite places, we love North County. It's my favorite. But I love Little Italy downtown, North Park, South Park, La Mesa. Like, again, just if you want to reach out to us, I can kind of see what you're looking for, and I can kind of tell you what I think is the best places to live here in San Diego. And we've done a lot of videos on these too. So.
Yeah.
And subscribe to our channel below. So.
Yes. Appreciate your views on condo apartment rentals in Mira Mesa. Mira Mesa is having like a big, not a big, but there's a boom right now with some new, there's a huge apartment condo complex right off the
western
15th.
end of Mira Mesa.
Western end of Mira Mesa.
I was actually just
Casa Mira, am I making that up? Casa Miravio. Casa, no.
Yeah, there's one Lennar's building one, the one we were looking at earlier.
But it's, I don't know. So there are, I think, properties available there. There are condos, apartments available there, and they are building more. That's a huge complex. And then there's some older ones. Parts of Mira Mesa, I would say that's some of the newest construction in Mira Mesa. Then there's some older ones, obviously, that you would be able to get, would be a little less expensive. They've been there for 30, 40 years, down Mira Mesa Boulevard,
Mira
which
Mesa
is a really
relatively
busy,
affordable compared to a lot of areas.
absolutely.
And that's only like 5 minutes from where we live.
And depending on where you're working, I mean, there's a huge area just west of Mira Mesa, Sorrento Valley, where there's lots of business parks, lots of companies are based there.
Qualcomm's over there. A lot of the tech companies are over there.
Yeah.
Sony has offices there.
So I would say Mira Mesa is a pretty affordable option if you're looking, if you happen to be working in that area and you're looking for some place to live.
I guess Mira Mesa.
Yeah.
That's the same.
Yeah. So yeah, I think.
But there are affordable condo apartment rentals in Mira Mesa.
And they run the gamut of some really new stuff that's not even finished being built, and then some older stuff.
Yeah, we haven't done a video tour on Mira Mesa yet, but we should.
I would love to. Oh, there's
some
really good food. Oh my gosh.
There's a Dunkin' Donuts going in there.
There is going to be a Dunkin' Donuts.
Very excited about that.
Yeah.
If any East Coast.
There's a lot of good food in Mira Mesa.
Have you got any experience with the sewage problem on Imperial Beach when selling property? Does that bring value down? I mean, if you can smell the sewage from the house, it's probably a negative. But if you don't, then it's not a huge negative because people kind of know about it a little bit. But as long as you can't really smell it from your house, then people don't love to smell sewage. I think so. That would be a little bit of an issue in my opinion. Yeah. So that would bring it probably just brings the value of what it is. It doesn't really bring the value down per se.
Yeah.
Hi, from New York. I wish I was there. You should come out, Amy. Come say hi.
It's pretty nice.
Jeremy, I would love to know the neighborhood to stay away from when moving to San Diego.
I said earlier, I think I was answering another Tamika, maybe I was answering someone earlier about the same question, just saying that I wouldn't really say that there's any neighborhood that I would particularly stay away from. I think it's just whatever you're looking for specifically. And when I moved here, I know I was looking for the best public schools. So there were certain neighborhoods that even though the homes looked pretty great, new construction or, cost of living wasn't quite as high, the school district wasn't as good. So we stayed away from those neighborhoods for that reason for us. So I wouldn't say, that's a pretty general statement of just stay away from
some areas maybe closer to downtown have a little bit more crime to them. So like east of San Diego, parts of, certain areas have more crime. It's a city, so you're going to have more areas that are...
You know what? And then you think about it too, like if you don't want to live near the university, if you don't want to be near San Diego State University and a bunch of college students roaming around on the weekends, then there's certain areas you should probably stay away from. What area is that? Would you call that?
San Diego State?
Yeah.
Like near, what's it called? There's a bunch of them. Is close to there.
But like right in that vicinity, or so that might put you off a certain neighborhood. But otherwise, I would say there really isn't. There's a neighborhood for everybody, and there's a fit for everyone.
And I was going to do a video on the worst neighborhoods in San Diego just based on crime. So I'll put that because we're not really supposed to tell what the most. I can get in trouble for saying what the worst neighborhood is, but if I can base it off crime statistics, then I can kind of
there we go. Use the numbers to decide.
Yes, I didn't make those numbers up.
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks to you all for moving across the country to San Diego next week. That's great. Nice. Congratulations.
Where are you living? Let us know where you're going to live.
Oh, what's the first? It says. What's the first thing to do after I move? La Jolla.
Nice. Very cool.
The jewel, the gem, the jewel
of San Diego.
It really is lovely. What is the first thing that you should do? You should probably
go to the beach. Probably
go to the beach. Go to La Jolla Shores.
Yes. Check out the sea lions, the seals. Sea lions.
Check out the seals. Go to La Jolla Cove. When the tide is out, you can go through this little tunnel cave. That's really cool. Just walk around. La Jolla Village is so cute, and there's shops and restaurants, and we should do a video on the best food in La Jolla.
Oh yeah.
Let us know if you want us to do that.
We're gonna try to lose this COVID-19, so
just roll with it. Just lean in.
Do you think, Steve Horn says, do you think the value of single-family homes will go up in California phases building them out as a policy in place of more? Single-family homes are, especially since COVID started, I think more and more people wanted to get out of condos and townhomes. So I think that's another big reason why the home prices of single families have gone up a lot. And sometimes they're going over $100,000 over asking price or even more. So my answer is probably yes. Kevin?
Out here in Philly?
What?
Okay, Kevin.
My brother lives in Queens Village in Philly, Kevin, so.
Oh my gosh.
Around 25K for similar price property at 12% property tax ballpark. I just might move there. You should. Property tax is pretty low here based on compared to other parts of the country. What are your thoughts on Logan Heights? Logan Heights is I think it's kind of like an up and coming type neighborhood.
I would agree.
So I think in a couple of years it's probably going to get nicer and nicer. So if you got in there earlier, then I think that would be a good spot, to be honest.
How much does a single person need to live in San Diego? Bern said a little bit earlier.
60-ish.
60-ish.
I mean, you can get away with
depending
less.
on where you want to live here in San Diego.
If you're more inland, you can probably get away with 40 to 50. But if you're more prime San Diego, 60 is probably a pretty good number to be around. If you don't have kids and don't have a lot of other debts, I guess.
Yes.
Love your videos, Yasmin. Thank you. Why is HOA so high in San Diego? I'm seeing average around 300 monthly. That's actually pretty high for a house.
That's quite high.
And that's the neighborhood that has like a ton of amenities, like pools and tennis courts and that sort of thing. We live in an HOA neighborhood with houses, and it's $75 a month. So I think it just depends on where you're looking, but ours is only 75.
300 is a lot.
300 is a lot for unless it's like a gated neighborhood with a lot of amenities.
Sure. Oh, if you have
if you're in Rancho Santa Fe,
a manned gate too.
Yes,
if you have a manned gate,
sure.
Obviously gets a lot.
So it depends on where you're looking. So if you have questions about that, let me know.
Yeah.
Husk says, I'm looking to be single for a while and plan to be in law enforcement. But LA or San Diego be overall better. I know there's like a shortage of police in San Diego. I've heard that. So I don't know about LA.
I would say San Diego though.
Yeah.
I would just say San Diego because
I like San Diego better.
I like San Diego a little bit better. Yeah.
We might be biased though on that one. Sorry, Husk. Please talk about the schools
cost of
in San
living
Diego. Cost of living is a little bit less here in San Diego. So I guess it depends what they pay in LA versus San Diego.
True, for law enforcement, that's
things are a little bit less expensive here.
Talk about best schools in San Diego.
Oh boy, it's a long conversation.
That's a whole.
So schools in North County, San Diego is where we live, are almost all the school districts are good here. Almost all of them.
Yeah.
So one of the best, highest rated high school in all of California is in San Diego, which is in Carmel Valley, called Canyon Crest Academy, CCA, as they say. But all the high schools are good over in our area. We're in the Poway Unified School District, but then there's San Diego School District, which is really good.
Also really great.
Solana Beach School District. All the North County coastal ones are pretty. Carlsbad's good. So if you go a little more inland, San Marcos is really good.
Yes.
There's no shortage of them up in North County.
Yeah.
And closer to the city, when San Diego Unified, it depends on the area.
There's pockets, and
Some
there's some really great schools down there. Was that charter school or the Magnet?
Oh yeah.
That's also one of the best.
And East County has a few of the school districts, like Rosemont Union School District is pretty good. But again, it depends on the pockets. So if you have a certain area you want to talk about, just feel free to reach out to us about that. Get a little less water. All right, we're going to go like 5 more minutes and then we'll probably have to cut it off. We'll try to do this every month, so if you guys have more questions, feel free to.
Do you think it could be cost effective to buy a home that's less expensive in a great neighborhood and renovate it as opposed to trying to find the perfect home?
I love doing the renovation projects. So I like trying to make it your own, because sometimes you get one that's renovated, it might not even be the way you want to renovate it. So if you have the money to actually renovate it, I think that's a great way to do it.
Yes, and he's saying if it's in a great neighborhood.
Yeah.
And really, that's the thing that you almost can't put a price on. That's like the great neighborhood is such a large piece of the puzzle there.
I usually try to find the worst house in the best neighborhood. That's what I usually try to do. But and then you can kind of fix it up over time. So that's when we bought this house in 2015, it needed to be updated. We've kind of done it a little bit over time, and I think it's worked out pretty well for us. So. Other than rent, this is from Cody again? Other than rent, what would you say are the biggest expenses in San Diego?
Your transportation, you have to have a car.
Yeah,
probably.
Gas prices are not the cheapest, but not terrible. I'll be right now around a little over $3 a gallon.
But you also have the expenses of just owning a car.
Yes,
having
that's
a car.
true. Yeah, upkeep, because you can't really get around. You can get around on public transportation depending on where you live, but it's not. You're pretty much going to need a car.
Tough. Yeah.
What else? Electricity is a little higher here than other parts of the country.
Yeah.
But food prices I don't find to be that much more expensive than maybe a little bit more.
I know, and I'm always conflicted about that because people want to say that it's so much more expensive out here, but then I look at our cost of like produce and fresh foods
we have
like
a lot of
that.
fresh food.
They're so locally sourced. I mean, you get them at a better price than, I know you're shipping strawberries all the way out to the East Coast and they're going to be $5.99 a pint in the middle of winter, where here you can still get them pretty cheap just because we have access to the produce.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I think if you can afford the housing here, then everything else isn't that dramatically different, in my opinion. But some people might disagree with me on that, I'm sure. But overall, I mean, schooling, like, I guess if you need childcare, but if you're a single person, it won't make too much difference. But if you're childcare, it can get a little pricier.
Yeah.
But for a single person, the rent or mortgage is going to be what's going to be the biggest difference. So,
yeah.
do you think the housing price will decrease in the future? I think the housing prices will decrease in the future, but probably not for a few years. Probably not for, I would say, at the earliest 3 years, unless the interest rates go up by like a point and a half. That's when you'll see them flatten, but I don't really see the prices dropping anytime soon. I could be wrong about that, but that's just what, every year I've thought that was going to happen, it just kept going up. So eventually they're going to go down. How much they're going to go down, I don't know, maybe 5%. But I don't think you're going to see a crash like you saw in 2008, because that was due to the housing crisis. And then most recessions, actually 3 out of the last 5 recessions, housing prices didn't even go down. So I think it kind of just depends on what the reason for the recession is, how housing prices go. So vehicle upkeep is those.
I wouldn't necessarily say vehicle upkeep. I just mean the cost of owning a car.
Yeah.
So insurance, car payments,
If you live
as
in
opposed to living somewhere where you are just
Chicago
using
or
exclusively
Philly
public
or San
transportation.
Francisco, you don't need to have a car.
Right.
So yeah.
I would just,
It wouldn't
cost
be
of
more
owning a
expensive.
car, not necessarily the upkeep.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we covered most of the questions there. We'll try to do this maybe once a month. Oh, there's Cody one more time. What do you think is the time and or rent to consider when renting versus buying? Does that make sense? I think honestly, if you have the down payment, enough for a down payment, I always think buying is a better option as long as you have money for that down payment. If you don't have, at least 5 or 10% down for a down payment, I don't think it makes sense, just because you're going to have to pay PMI insurance on it and all these other fees. So if your payment's going to be way higher by having a mortgage than it is to rent, I think it would be better to save up a little bit more, rent for a little while, and then buy. But it's going to depend on your situation. So I know it's not a perfect answer, but it's going to be a case-by-case basis, basically. So, but if you have more questions more in detail about this, I can help you with, just let me know. I'd be happy to talk to you a little bit about that. Sorry, I keep looking at it, not at the camera.
I know, I'm not really looking at the camera either.
I'm trying to read the questions and talk to you at the same time, so it's a little tough. So, Cody, if you have questions about that, feel free to just drop us a text or an email or give us a call. All right. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. This was actually more people than I was expecting. So
that's great.
I'm glad you guys showed up, because I thought it was just going to be me and Courtney talking to each other again. So
I know.
hopefully it was helpful. And if you guys ever have questions, feel free to reach out. And please subscribe to our channel if you haven't done it already. And look out for some new videos here in 2021, as we're going to try to get out a little bit more in the communities and show off all these different neighborhoods in San Diego.
Yes.
All right, guys, thanks for watching.
Thanks.
Well, one more last question from Caesar. What's the most common issue you notice in homes for sale? I would say the most common issue, I would say it depends. Sometimes, like if it's an older house, the older roof might need an older roof. ACs only last 15, 20 years here, so I find a lot of old ACs that are probably near the end of their age. But honestly, that's kind of the biggest ones I see. Not really a lot of foundation issues, depending on the years. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
And yeah, hopefully we can meet up. If you guys are ever in San Diego, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to, buy you a coffee or whatnot.
Burrito.
So, yeah, or burrito. At Roberto's. We'll all meet at Roberto's.
Yes.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Talk soon. Oh, I turned this off. All right. Bye, guys.